Guys, when the moment for intimacy arrives, you've got to be ready. Roman ready. Whether you've been in a relationship for years or you're just getting started, having the confidence that comes with preparation means that you're free to enjoy the moment when the moment comes. Even though you are far from ordinary, the truth is ED is really common. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, convenient, and discreet. Getting started, just as simple. Go to GetRoman.com/Chael today. If you're prescribed, you're going to get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready. Roman ready. Ciryl Gane, Tai Tuivasa. Guys, this is what you call a grand slam. This was awesome. First off, I never understood this fight. I never understood for the life of me why this was given to us for free. I truly did not. Now, I'm greedy like anybody, and I'll take it. But the card as a whole, I mean, you have Robert Whittaker, an Ultimate Fighter tournament champion. That is a huge accomplishment. A world champion. Oh, by the way, should I mention that Robert Whittaker is one half of the biggest gate in MMA history of 57,000 live people. Oh, and should I mention he's ranked #1 in the world? People forget that about Whittaker. I swear to goodness, Whittaker and Colby get the same treatment. They truly do. They're the most overlooked #1 contenders. He's going to take on Angry Marvin, and they're going to do it for 15 minutes. That's the way you want Angry Marvin, and you want Whittaker. You don't want him for 25 minutes. There's some fights that they're better quicker. Truly, I believe that. So this one gets announced, and then you've got the heavyweights on top of it. You got #1 taking on #4. So you have the #1 ranked heavyweight in the world. You really got to understand this. You had the #1 ranked heavyweight in the world in your main event. You had the #1 ranked middleweight in the world in your co-main event. This was just given away. I never understood it. I really did. I was sitting back going, what is Dana doing? What's the strategy here? This is a massive offering. Oh, by the way, it's in the middle of an afternoon that you can watch anywhere on the Worldwide Leader. I mean, you can watch it on your device if you wanted to. You can watch it on TV. Okay, it's just one of these things. Going into it, I'm trying to figure out what the strategy is. And what are you going to do if Tuivasa wins? If Tuivasa wins, it means he knocks Ciryl out. I mean, really, if you bet Tuivasa to win, you should have also checked the box for knockout, because that was his way to win, of which he almost did. What are you going to do if #4, who's also your most popular guy in the entire division, takes out #1? You're going to not give him a title shot? I would love to see this dance. That is going to be a very, very... Kreskin couldn't pull that one off. Vice versa, what are you going to do to #1 if he goes out and wins and stops the most popular guy in Tai Tuivasa at home in a sold-out arena, of which I didn't know how the French were. I personally didn't know how energetic the French crowd could be. We've been exposed to the British crowd by example. Couple of questions here. Absolutely sold out, absolutely packed. Wonderful opener. Vettori, Whittaker did their job. I know some people, when that fight's over, had a different review, man. Those two went out there and they did their job. Whittaker just showed why he's so damn good. People truly underestimate. I believe that people don't understand just how good Whittaker is. When Whittaker fought Adesanya last, I was there live, and I thought they were going to say and new. That's one guy's opinion. But that's how good he is. Just hold that thought. Main event time. All right. Now, Tai Tuivasa, right? And I'm over here. I'm a critic. I'm negative. There's nothing I can do about it. You're born that way. You're a pessimist or you're an optimist, right? The glass is either half empty or it's half full. For me, it's half empty every time. So I'm a critic, and one thing about Tuivasa, which I have accurately identified, is he's not very good. Now, when I say that, I get everybody's attention. How can the #4 guy not be very good? Where is Chael going this? Well, I really mean it as a compliment, because his wins and what he's able to go out there and do, the nerves, the attention he's able to draw, while still being rough around the edges. While still, he only has a purple belt, by example, in jiu-jitsu. I don't believe he's been promoted. If he is, feel free to correct me. But I would put him as a martial artist. I would put him as a purple belt. He's a rough guy. He goes out and competes. Well, all of this is now changed. I will not say those words. Tai Tuivasa is not very good. I will not say that again. Even if I meant it as a compliment in the first place, I just won't say it anymore. It's not true. Tuivasa, first off, almost won this fight, just so you understand. He's walking into enemy territory, which he has done multiple times. He does not care. He's got ice going through his veins. He's a competitor. To go into a 5-round atmosphere is a very intimidating circumstance. To go into a 5-round atmosphere where you are fully aware ahead of time, I am going to be bludgeoned. Whether I win or I lose, all this guy across from me is going to do is punch me and kick me for the duration of our match. It's a wildly intimidating, he's never going to tell you that. He's a proud guy. I understand these things. He's also a human being. It's a very terrifying thing. His combinations were beautiful. Everybody's conditioning needs work. I mean, in all fair, there's no athlete competing today that thinks I'm just in this wonderful. Everybody's conditioning needs work. He held up the whole time. Tuivasa had a chin. Tuivasa was doing blocks. He was feeding back. I will never say that he's not skilled. I think that my statement was once true, though. I think that Tuivasa's training partners and his coaches deserve a ton of shine. I wish that they would step forward and take a bow. They're doing some really great things with him. Not to mention, he takes his training camp to Abu Dhabi. He does that by his own explanation of it takes away from distractions. I believe that that's cute, fancy talk for I don't drink as much beer when I'm in Abu Dhabi. I think that's what it means. But he is getting good. He is getting very good. And you've got to understand that if you want to give Ciryl the pat on the back that he deserves. Not to mention, Ciryl Gane came to life. For the first time ever, he came to life. He did it in French. I'm not fully sure what he said, but he had an energetic crowd, a sold-out, packed house, as he's performing victoriously over the number 4 guy in the world. On the worldwide league. This was a massive moment. What are you going to do with it? I mean, what are you going to do with it? And there were so many things where I did not think that Ciryl Gane, this is me, I'm being a critic, right? The glass is half full. I admit that. I did not think Ciryl Gane looked very good against Francis Ngannou. I left there that night a little bit disappointed. Now, I was upset with both of them because of what they had that they didn't use. I fully admit that. That was the story of all stories in the history of the heavyweight division, and they both blew it. It rubbed me the wrong way. But physically speaking, I didn't think he looked very good. He went for a leg lock at one point. He gave up a position. I don't understand why he did that. Everybody makes weird decisions. He's never been taken down in a fight before. That was the story going into this fight. I believe that he was 15-0 along with the interim championship. If I'm wrong, he was 16-0, but he had never spent a single second on the ground before. Francis, who's never taken anybody down, takes him down enough times to win the entire fight. I didn't think he looked very good. I take it all back. Apparently, I need to look a little bit closer. Apparently, the Predator's takedowns and his ground control deserves a lot more credit than I gave. And I think that I speak for you guys. I think that we see the same thing. I think that we might need to reassess this one. Because Ciryl looked great, and he had problems. I mean, there was a way out of that fight if he wanted it. That door came wide open, and he said, I don't want out. He closed that door. He had to dig deep. Not to mention, and you guys know this to be true, whatever goes up must come down. We all know that to be true. So how is Ciryl going to respond? Everything was up. 2 fights ago, he's fighting for a championship. 1 fight ago, he's fighting to unify championships. Now he's not on pay-per-view. I mean, how is he going to view that? I don't know. He looked awesome. He looked like he had grit, and he looked like he wanted it. And he finally, even if he did it in French, he finally came to life. He had this energy. And it's very tough. I mean, Tuivasa, guys. Tuivasa in defeat. Oh, I loved it. You know, they do this performance of the night business. They got this performance of the night, and you're going to get this. I came from Outstanding Wrestler. Outstanding Wrestler Award, right? I came wrestling scene. And I wish they would do an Outstanding Fighter. I wish that's what, I love Fight of the Night, but I wish they did an Outstanding Fighter. Because you know who I'd have given it to? You know who I'd have given it to? I'd have given it to Tuivasa. Even in defeat, I'd have given it to Tuivasa. That's how good he looked. But you have to appreciate that. You have to appreciate what I'm saying, or you can't give Ciryl the credit that he deserves. A very meaningful opponent. Now, what are you going to do with that? For some reason, we're all standing back. We're all standing back so that Jones and Stipe can go handle this business. I love that fight too. Can't really think of a fight I would be more excited for, but that can change very quickly. And I think this shot in the ass that Ciryl just gave the world, if Ciryl can keep this going, right, it's all going to die down and all the air is going to get sucked out of the room unless he uses this moment. It was a special moment, man. It was a special fight. I don't know why we were giving it. That's not free TV in my opinion. You had the #1 heavyweight. Oh, and by the way, you had the #1 middleweight on the same card. Now they've gone out and done their job, but we still have an obligation though. We have an obligation. What do they get for it? Where do they go from here? And I think that's a very hard, if you look, how are you going to answer that question? What do you do with Ciryl? What do you do with Whitaker? They're victors of co-main and main events. They were #1 going in. Where do they go now?